All right, thanks a lot, Wolf. This is the issue that makes people crazy. If you're going to live in the United States, you need to speak English. It's the issue and the debate that tonight we're bringing out in the open. Why won't they speak English?
Gracias.
Why are we talking to them in Spanish?
¿Habla español o inglés?
Should English be the official language? Sí or no?
A battle like this, what does it do to a city?
Tears it apart.
We'll take you to a U.S. city where all official business is in Spanish. We'll bring you Tom Tancredo.
I have been as critical as I possibly can be.
And then there's Miami. Does anybody speak English there? One nation, one language. Tonight, the debate is out in the open. Also, police battling lawyers, and it gets bloody. And a nuclear plant goes offline for good. Hi, everybody. I'm Rick Sanchez. There are people in this country getting downright angry about this language issue. So tonight, we're going to try and tackle this thing head on. I mean, listen, this could be you at a supermarket trying to buy something, but nobody there speaks English, so you can't talk to them. Or maybe from the other side, it could be you being told that because your parents don't speak any English, they shouldn't be allowed to receive any social services. Now, this is a real deal. It's what people are arguing about all over the country right now. And really, it goes deep into the American psyche. It's so much that it's being reflected in many of the polls that they're taking right now. In fact, I got one to show you. Let's see if we can break this down for you. Let's go over here. Look at this. This is 1965. They asked Americans a very simple question. Should people who cannot read or write English be allowed to vote in this country? The answer back then, 48-48. Pretty much split. Now, look at how things have changed. Jeff, move over just a bit. This is a more recent poll, 2006, when they asked the same question. Americans are now saying no. It's very different. 53% are saying no, they should not be allowed to vote in this country if they don't speak English. And they're saying that this should probably be more of an official language, only 41% on the other side. A lot of people out there say one nation, one language, and the language has to be English. But is anybody really trying to buck that trend? That's another good question. Colorado Republican Congressman Tom Tancredo says yes. He says they are trying to buck that trend, and he tends to say that they're doing it for a specific reason. He's running for president, in large measure, by the way, on that argument. Also with us is Miguel Perez. He is a syndicated columnist and professor of journalism at Lehman College, who will, for the most part, disagree, I believe. All right, Tom Tancredo, let's get started to you. What do you think is fueling the resentment that we just saw demonstrated in that graphic, that poll that I just showed our viewers there?
Rick, I'm sorry, but at the first part of this, I could not hear what you were saying. But I can tell you that there is certainly a great deal of concern and criticism out there about the fact that we are becoming essentially a bilingual nation and nobody's doing anything to try to stop it. I agree that that is not a good idea. I believe that, first of all, in order to be able to vote, a person should have to understand the debate that leads up to that vote. So, yeah, you should have to speak English in order to vote. So you're supposed to have to speak English to become a citizen.
You agree with the poll? You agree that it's going too far in the direction of Spanish? Miguel Perez, you're here to say probably that it's really not as much as big a deal as the congressman is making it out to be.
No, señor, de ninguna manera. Not at all. Listen. What is heating this debate is people, unfortunately, like the congressman, who are dividing this country, in my opinion, because I don't think that we should be concerned about knowledge, about knowing other languages. All over this world, people want to learn and speak several languages. In this country, we have this narrow, some of us have this very narrow mentality that we should only speak English and English only. It's detrimental to our future.
Let's leave it there. I'm going to pick you guys up in just a little bit. But would you believe that there is now a city in the United States where the official business is done in, guess what language we're talking about here? Tom Tancredo, what language do you think that is?
I know there's one that's doing it in Spanish.
Spanish, you're absolutely right. We're talking the official language, folks, and that's getting to a lot of people, and it's making them really angry about this. It's Spanish. Here now is a revealing and what most would consider to be an important story by CNN's Ed Lavandera.
Hola. Hi, how are you? If you want to find what you're looking for in El Cenizo, more than just a little bit of Espanol goes a long way.
¿Habla español o inglés? Both?
Consuelo Reynera works the cash register in this border town's only grocery store.
Most of your customers here, do they speak Spanish?
They speak Spanish, yes.
No English.
They do speak English a little bit.
El Cenizo is a small Texas town of 6,500 people overlooking the Rio Grande. It's not unusual for people down here to speak Spanish and English. Nearly everyone does. But El Cenizo is different. It officially conducts all of its city business in Spanish.
Hola, buenos días. I'm looking for the mayor, I don't know.
Today, the town is led by a 24-year-old mayor whose first language is English. He personally translates meeting agendas into Spanish.
So do you have a stack in English and a stack in Spanish? And at the end of the meeting, which stack is empty?
This one.
And these are all just kind of still sitting there. The English ones are still sitting there, and the Spanish ones are gone.
Reyes says this was nothing more than a dusty border outpost until 1999. But now, with the city and its people speaking the same language, streets are paved, there's a police force, and a fire station.
So there's a lot of good, positive things happening, and you get to that with the support and the collaboration of the residents that reside in this.
And you think that happened because city business here is conducted in Spanish?
That's right. You know, we speak their language.
Most of El Cenizo's residents are Mexican Americans here legally. Reyes says since city council meetings are conducted in Spanish, more people participate.
What do you say to those people who say, you know, by God, this is the United States? You need to speak English.
No, I agree. There's no doubt in anybody's mind that if you want to prosper and you want to get a good job, you'll need to learn how to speak English.
People here like to joke that the official language should be Spanglish, a little bit of both languages, so everyone can understand. Ed Lavandera, CNN, El Cenizo, Texas.
Let's bring Miguel Perez back into this argument, as well as Congressman Tom Tancredo. I understand what that your argument is that people should speak a lot of different languages, and I think most people get that. But isn't it a matter of respect? Isn't it disrespectful to have a city in the United States where the official language, not just the spoken language, the official language is Spanish?
It's disrespectful to speak a foreign language in front of people who don't understand you. I agree with that. I think we should be, you know, courteous in that sense. Some people automatically think that you're talking about them, whether you are or not.
Yeah, but no. Let's go back to the question of the official language.
Yeah, the official. I don't agree with that. I think it was a stupid mistake on their part because it gives the people who are against us immigrants, against us Latinos in this country, ammunition. So
the takeover mentality.
I don't agree, but let's remember that this is a border town. This is not happening all over the country. This is a border town where most of the people there, the overwhelming majority, speak more Spanish than they do English because most of them are Mexican. They are recent arrivals from Mexico, but many of them are legal. But again, this is a unique case, and I think even though it was a unique case, it was dumb of them to do it.
Congressman Tom Tancredo, a lot of the folks down around the border would say, look, we never crossed the border, sir. The border crossed us. You've heard that argument before. What do you say to folks who say that?
First of all, I think that they're right. Miguel is saying that it's a unique situation, perhaps today, Miguel, but it is certainly not going to be unique in 10 years from today. Because that is exactly what is happening. The problem is a matter of numbers. And, you know, when you say that we all should speak many languages, I totally agree with you. My wife taught Russian in public schools for 27 years. We're all for foreign language education. I wish everybody were bilingual or multilingual. I wish I were. But I'll tell you what, that's not what we're talking about here for the nation. We are talking about a nation that needs something that holds us together. A glue, Miguel, that holds all people together regardless of where they came from, regardless of what they spoke before, the culture that they came from. Something in this nation has to hold us together. And you know what that is? It's called the language, English. That is the glue. It is important for us all, regardless, and it's got nothing to do, sir, with being against immigrants or against Latinos. You like to phrase it like that because you want some fight on that basis, but it's got nothing to do with it, sir.
Congressman, let's give him a chance. Congressman, let's go ahead and give him a chance.
It already binds us together. We all recognize that English is the national language. Congress even voted on this a while back. It is the national language. The people who want to make it official are only, Rick, the people who want to make it official are the people who want to take away the bilingual ballots, who want to take certain rights, certain services. You go to an emergency room and they won't speak to you in Spanish, even though you can get along a lot better in that language. But that's what they want to try to take away by making English official.
But
we recognize that the English is the national language. Most Latinos or most immigrants, when they arrive in this country, recognize if they want to get ahead, they have to learn English.
And that goes to this point. Is it really generational? Is it something that's going to be only in the short term? So is it then short-sighted to be criticizing the abuelito or the abuelita who really can't speak English, even though their sons and daughters will? That's a big part of this discussion. Congressman, stick around, because we're going to pick that up as well. And this question, should everything then be in English if you follow the argument that the congressman is making in this case? It's an important question. I mean, no exceptions. We're going to bring you a couple of guys who are going to be talking about that as well. And I want you to do something for us right now. Go to a computer if you're at home and you're watching this newscast, because I want to take a poll for everyone who's watching right now and see if you can answer this question. Should America be English only? Should America be English only? Log on to CNN.com/UncoveringAmerica and then scroll down to our quick vote question. Again, here's the question. Should America be English only? We really want to know what you're thinking about this, and we're going to broadcast the results in just a little bit. All right, we're going to be taking you now to another American city. Another American city in just a little bit, a place that's just the opposite of the city you just saw in Texas. We found two, and it started a knockdown, drag-out fight in this one as well.
I'm with CNN. Can I ask you a question?
No English.
No English?
Then, doesn't anybody in Miami speak English anymore? Does it really matter? This is a place that Tom Tancredo made a comment about. We'll remind him of that as well, and we'll be right back.
We have the secret between us. He sets his side of our sleep number bed to 25. Kind of soft. If you ask him what his sleep number is, he'll say it's the 90. You know, it doesn't bother me so much that he has this image to maintain. I mean, he's just not the tough guy that he thought he was. And here he's got a wife whose sleep number is 80.
A sleep number is the key to a perfect night's sleep.
Your secret's safe, right?
The Sleep Number bed by Select Comfort. Call 1-800-SLEEP-NUMBER.
Now, see, when people think of Geico, right, they think of car insurance. And of course, saving money. But sometimes that can lead even the savviest driver astray. Take, for example, the motorcycle owner. He calls Geico wanting to save money on his car insurance, only to realise that he doesn't actually own a car. Well, needless to say, he's quite embarrassed, isn't he? Doesn't matter. Geico insures motorcycles and ATVs as well. That way, no one ends up looking foolish.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Create, share, and experience in 3D. Dassault Systems. See what you mean.
We're all on the lookout, trying to get a sneak preview of what's next. Turning our heads to see what smart new ideas are out there. In the energy field, one company has turned the heads of 2/3 of the Fortune 100. Constellation New Energy, taking energy a step further.
We believe small business technology should work as hard as you do. We believe that you're big enough for custom-built solutions. And your computer company should always be there to answer your questions.
How can I help you?
At Dell, we believe in giving you advice, customized technology, and support to do amazing things. Our partnership should never be based solely on what's inside a box. It should be defined by the people who stand behind it. Dell, we believe in small business.
welcome you back. I'm Rick Sanchez. Special night here out in the open, uncovering America, one nation, one language. But you see, there's a question mark at the end of this. What language should we be speaking in this country? There's a lot of resentment out there because there's a whole lot of Spanish-speaking immigrants. It's a fear in many's minds that Spanish will somehow take over. Well, we just showed you a Texas border town that actually does official business in just Spanish, no English. Now we're going to show you the flip side of this. This is a Chicago suburb where there's a movement afoot to save English. Again, the other side. Here's Ed Lavandera.
Mention the words English and official language in Carpentersville, Illinois, and the passion erupts. In June, a group of local politicians fought to declare English as this Chicago suburb's official language. They wanted all official government business to be done in English only.
I started feeling out of place.
Judy Sigwalt is one of those local politicians, inspired, she says, by the changes she's seen around her since she moved here 25 years ago.
In my old neighborhood, I couldn't talk to any of my neighbors.
The fight has made some American citizens like Adam Ruiz uncomfortable. In a town that's about 40% Latino, the symbolic gesture, a resolution, not a law, has ignited a cultural battle.
Right now, I am asking all illegal aliens and their families to pack your stuff, go back to your country of origin.
When I look at some of you, how do I know you're legal? Will we be tagged in the ear?
I'm sick and tired of being called a racist or a Nazi.
Ruiz decided to fight the English-only crowd after this letter was sent to some white, non-Hispanic residents. It said, "Are you tired of having to punch one for English? And are you tired of watching illegal aliens pay with food stamps and then get in a $40,000 car?" Ruiz says it's proof that the anti-illegal immigrant group is on a racist crusade.
It became personal for me. It just really felt really uncomfortable.
Ruiz says the official English movement is driving some Hispanics out. Hispanic neighborhoods are flooded with for sale signs. Sigwalt says all legal residents should feel welcome.
This is what I was raised for America to be, the land, land of the free. We are all free, but still we have our language of origin.
A battle like this, what does it do to a city?
It tears it apart. It makes you feel really uncomfortable. It's like you're on unwritten war here.
In this cultural battle, language is a mighty sword. Ed Lavandera, CNN, Carpentersville, Illinois.
This is one that makes people's blood boil. We're going to be talking to both of our guests. Tom Tancredo, before we go to the break, I want to get your quick take on this, 30 seconds. Good idea, only in English all the time, yes or no?
Absolutely. English only, all the time.
How about you, Miguel Perez, when you look at something like this?
We would have to change the name of the congressman's state. It would have, if he's from Colorado, we would have to call it Red.
Interesting point.
It's English. English is Colorado.
Both of you guys stay exactly where you are. We're going to be picking this up in just a little bit. Stay with us. Next, this place could be Tom Tancredo's nightmare. He called it a third world country. No, not me. But actually, it's all part of Florida, Miami. We go there. Does anyone in Miami these days speak English anymore? Also, don't forget our quick vote question. Should America be English only? Vote at CNN.com/UncoveringAmerica.
I'm in a lonely way. I'm desperate for love. I sit and cry all day. Cry to the moon above. I need love, I need love, I need love.
The all-new, well-loved XC70 crossover from Volvo.
What Korean Air is made of.
Excellence in flight. Korean Air.
Your dreams are crazy. They're impossible.
That's what they said back in the day when your dreams changed everything. That's not going to stop now. You don't turn your dreams over to the authorities at age 60. You find someone who believes in your dreams.
Start with your dreams, and your Ameriprise financial advisor, working with you one-to-one, face-to-face, will help you plan to make your dreams realities.
See, the thing about dreams is they don't retire.
You can't just sit behind a desk all the time and think you know what's going on in the world. You have to go out and see it for yourself.
For better internet and phone service, switch your business to America's most advanced fiber optic network. Order the Optimum Double Play with Optimum Online and Optimum Voice, just $29.95 a month each. With Optimum Online, you'll increase your office productivity with an internet package that's right for you. Add static IP and get more options, including faster connections and web hosting. Optimum Voice equips your business with flat-rate unlimited calling. We offer business calling features at no extra charge, and you can even keep your current number. At just $29.95 per month each, the Optimum Double Play saves your business up to 60% over the phone company. With simple installation plus local customer support available 24/7, switching is risk-free. You'll get fast, reliable internet plus flat-rate unlimited calling. Call now to order the Optimum Double Play and see the infinite possibilities we can offer your business. Thousands of companies have connected with Optimum. Your business can too. Call now.
The child sex tape suspect's ex-girlfriend. Primetime exclusive. Larry King tonight.
And we welcome you back to Out in the Open. I'm Rick Sanchez. Tonight we uncover America, one nation, one language. That's our question. We're talking about the huge influx of Spanish-speaking immigrants into the United States and the fear that they just won't let go of their original language, that they'll overwhelm English just in sheer numbers. And one day, U.S. laws will actually be written in Spanish. Representative Tom Tancredo fears that. Syndicated columnist Miguel Perez doesn't. They're both back with me right now. Hey, Congressman, let's start with this. The folks that we just saw in that report, if they live in a U.S. city, just because they speak Spanish, or maybe even if they're not here legally, shouldn't they still deserve to get services, emergency services, for example?
Sir, absolutely. Nobody's questioning emergency services. But let me do this. One thing, please. Well, I got a lady in my district wrote me a letter. And by the way, it's on our website, teamtancredo.org, if you want to see the whole thing. Her name is Diane Myers. She talked about going into a store. It was a Walmart store. Could not find the item she was looking for. Kept asking everybody. Could not find anybody that spoke English. Finally found a black lady who was stocking the shelves. Asked her. She took her to the spot. On the way, she said, I couldn't find anybody else to do this. And the black lady turned around and said, you know, I always knew something was going to bring us together. Who would have thought it'd be a language? That was the most profound statement you could make about this issue, because that's what we're talking about, bringing people together, not separating them. But two languages and a country of two languages does separate us. That's exactly the wrong way to go.
But doesn't it have a lot to do with what's going on in a particular marketplace? If there's a lot of people, Miguel, who are living, let me take this to Miguel if I can. If there's a lot of people who just moved into one area, they're all first generation, you're going to have more people just by sheer numbers that happen to speak Spanish.
Absolutely.
There, right?
That's what's happening. But you know, let's realize, let's see clearly that most of those people still recognize that they need to learn English. Look, Rick, I went to English courses as a reporter a couple of years ago. I spent time in English classes. I would bump into a lot of people who would tell me, oh, at one point somebody said to me, oh, half the people in my class are falling asleep. I said, my God, do you mean that they're uninterested in learning English? They said, no. It's because they have 3 jobs and they're still here late at night trying to learn English. People are sacrificing. A study was done by NALEO, the National Association of Latino Elected Officials, a survey of 22 cities where Latinos and other immigrants live. They found that there are waiting lists in most of these ESL courses. If the congressman wanted to do something about people learning English, he would fund those courses. He would introduce legislation to fund those courses. We don't have enough money to teach as many people as we have that want to learn English. That's the problem.
Amazing, isn't it, that this country was able to actually get established and get to this point in time without ESL, and all the millions of people who came here who couldn't speak English somehow found a way to do it. I'm all for people trying to find a way to speak English. Don't get me wrong, but I'm telling you, it's not as if there isn't enough resources. There isn't enough will or desire to speak.
You mean your ancestors never took a course? They learned English on their own, Congressman? Your ancestors never took a course?
No.
They all learn English in...
No. The answer is no.
Oh, my God. Sir,
they did not take a course in English. I'm sorry. They just went to a public school. They went to a public school.
Gentlemen, you can't talk over each other. You can't talk over each other. Go ahead.
They went to a public school. That's how they learned. They did not take any special courses. That's how my grandparents learned, and my parents were not allowed to speak anything but English in the home.
So you don't think we should teach English?
My parents were not allowed to.
Let's leave it right there, gentlemen. Representative Tom Tancredo, syndicated columnist Miguel Perez, my thanks to both of you for being with us.
Pleasure.